Okay, I'm gonna do my thoughts on this Geotech number 32. And yeah, I used it, a little bit to cut up some veggies. But man, you want to talk about a thick, robust blade. And it's not a scanty grind, it's a flat grind. But man, this thing comes really, and not quite 100% polished razor sharp out of the box. But for a hunting knife, I don't want razor sharp. I like to have the striations in there so it's kind of sawtooth. Man, the edge lasts longer when I'm skinning animals and stuff like that. But man, I'm really impressed with this. The weight is it's great. It fits a hand perfect. The choil up here is great. And, I don't like choking up on a blade up here, but it does have a sharpening notch. Not, I don't remember what it's called. But if I'm doing fine work, I'll choke up here on the blade and use that. But man, this thing is just awesome. The sheath is extremely high quality. You can hang it low, or you can hang it high, or you can hang it horizontal. And it comes with fire ferrocene rod. And I've seen comments to where that ferrocene rod is gonna fall out. No, it's not gonna fall out. Man, that sucker is tight in there. It comes with a sharpening stone, which is like 120 grit. No, maybe more, 220 grit. But it's nice. You have to remove the knife and flip that up, the retainer, to pull the stone out. But I mean, the thickness of the leather, the quality of the work, I'm really impressed with that. But the knife itself, I mean, I've got medium large hands, and it fits well. It's got a lanyard hole, and if you got large hands, I mean, there's still space, for a large hand. But the weight of that knife and the quality, I mean, I could feel that knife and feel that it's got a Rockford hardness of 58 to 62. I mean, that is, one tough knife. Uh, I bought this to replace my Buck 119 special that I had for 27 years. My mom bought me when I first started deer hunting on my own. My knife got stolen, and man, it had a lot of sentimental value. And I thought about buying another Buck 119, but I didn't because, I can't replace that knife. It had a lot of sentimental value. But I mean, look at this, straight out of the box. Just, there's no shine on that edge. It's got a wide blade. It'd be a great bushcraft knife. And I'm looking for a hunting knife. And the grind, I don't care about mirror polish or anything like that. But the grind is right. If it's a hand right, I'm really impressed with this Geotech. And it's got a lifetime warranty, like the Buck does from defects and all that. Still got the clip point that I like. Real nice skinning blade. And that son of a gun is sharp, but it's got a sawtooth edge sharp. So if you go to cut through flesh and there's hair, the sawtooth will cut the hair. I really like this. I didn't want to like it because I'm replacing a sentimental value knife, but Man, and the Kookaburra grips just fit my hand really well. I'm not sure how the pins, the bolt-in pins, they're a Torx pin. I'm not sure how they're set in, so I'm going to try to remove them. But if I remove one, I'm going to Loctite it and put it back in. Man, I'm just really impressed with this. I've already cut up cucumbers and jalapenos because I'm pickling cucumbers and jalapenos. And I decided to use it for a cook knife for a little bit. Wow, I'm really impressed with this blade. I mean, you see the narrow profile? We go to the thick spine. And then the clip point is beveled for a piercing point. I mean, this thing is just... that point is insanely sharp. So, yeah, I miss my Buck 119 that got stolen, which, like I said, I've had it for 27 years. But, as far as a comparable replacement, this knife definitely surpasses what that Buck would do. But for sentimental value, not yet. But the knife I replaced with this I had for 27 years, over 27 years. I'm hoping I'll have this one longer because, man, that is such a high quality blade. The original Buck, it cost what they do now, same price, but they're worth a lot more because it was one of the first generation Bucks that ever come out. And my mom bought it for me. And I always liked that style of knife, but this is a little different style, but man, wow. I'm surprised this knife was 119 bucks cuz for the quality and the way it feels, cuz I mean, I can physically feel the hardness of this steel. And I'm surprised it wasn't more. But yeah, I'm definitely endorsing them, especially because of the sheath. And it comes with the fire ferrocene rod. And it had a little piece of hacksaw blade for a striker, but the back edge of this knife will work really good. This is a true 90. It's a sharp 90, so it'll strike sparks. And it comes with a sharpening stone. And one thing I didn't like about the Buck 119, it was always right hand, right hand sheath. And it had that wraparound, which, it secured the knife really well. But this knife, you can loop high, loop low, or do horizontal. So if I carry my 45 ACP when I'm archery hunting for protection, then I can carry it horizontally on my lower back and not worry about losing my knife, ferrocene rod, or sharpening stone. I'm really impressed. And it's even got a leg tie down too. And you could do right or left-handed with this, honestly. Because, I mean, you can cut or remove this retention strap because the sheath is tight enough to where you can put it anyway without that strap. I'm really impressed. So, we'll see if it holds up to what my Buck 119 did that I had for 27 years. But I'm pretty freaking sure it will. Sorry about the marks on the knife. Like I said, it's used. But, wow. I'm really impressed with that blade.